I've lost a lot of weight. I don't know what happened to it, honestly. I set it down in one place, turned around, and it's gone. I lose a lot of things. I don't even know where my car keys are right now. Hello and welcome. My name is Brian Ogle, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about cardio, fitness, nutrition, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Today I want to talk about me, my life, and my fitness journey. For as long as I can remember, I was always the fat friend, or the big guy, if you will, no matter what room I went into. And a part of that was because of my upbringing. I come from a family where we really like to eat. We have really big appetites, and we're a little bit bigger than the average person. And growing up in that environment, you kind of have this positive psychological association between junk food and these positive feelings. And that's not really the healthiest thing, especially when you don't know anything about nutrition. Growing up in this environment, I had a really great connection to really bad food that's not nutritious. And at the same time, when you grow up in that environment and you become the big guy in any room, you also become the last person who gets picked for any sports team. And what's worse than that is you then get made fun of for underperforming on those sports teams. And so I kind of grew up not only having this really great connection with junk food, but also having this negative association with physical fitness, which is bad. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to play a sport. And if I did, what if someone saw me and started making fun of me? No, that's not something I wanted to do at all. So when you leave high school and you start to become responsible for yourself, for your meals and for your life, and you have a really good connection with unhealthy food and no connection at all with physical fitness, it's kind of the perfect combination to just balloon up, which is exactly what I did. I left high school in 2014 weighing roughly 220 pounds. And in 6 years, in December of 2020, I was at my heaviest of 326 pounds. I weighed heavier than I've ever weighed before. And I was moody. I wasn't getting good sleep. I felt winded just walking around the campus that I taught at. That's not normal. When you are that way at the time, your mind is, oh yeah, that's just a part of life. But when you start eating healthier and you start realizing, oh, that's not normal at all. In college, I met someone who became my number one support ever. My girlfriend, who has been nothing but loving and supportive in my journey at all. She introduced me to obstacle course racing, which was really cool. You're with other people who just want you to succeed. It's not about trying to be better than another person. It's all about the camaraderie, cooperation. And I always thought that was so cool. And at the same time that I started getting into physical fitness through that, I started getting into nutrition. Shannon showed me a nutrition plan called Renaissance Periodization. And I started counting all my macros, starting to get into healthy cooking, starting to meal prep all my meals. And so there I was. January of 2020, I was at the heaviest that I've ever been of 326 pounds. But I'm starting to get into physical fitness a little bit, starting to have those goals, and I was starting to get into nutrition quite a bit, starting to realize, hey, macronutrients are kind of important, and maybe I don't need 3,000 calories a day. Then the funniest thing happened. The entire world just stopped because of the COVID-19 pandemic. All of a sudden, all of the gyms were closed. All of a sudden, everyone was inside. And while most of America would gain the quarantine 15, I would actually go on to do something that I always said I would do, which is lose the weight. I started running, and then I started running a little bit further, and a little bit further, and a little bit further. And then eventually I ran a whole 10K, and it was amazing. It was awesome. It inspired me to just keep going. Then eventually I ran a half marathon, and then eventually a full marathon. It was so cool to see the progress and the growth that I was able to get in running. I was able to set realistic goals, realistic expectations, and hit them with the progress that I was making. Also at the same time, I was cooking more healthy food that tasted better, and I found out that when you eat nutrient-dense food, you could actually eat a lot more food and get the same amount of calories. I was able to eat a lot more than I ever expected on like any fad diet. So I wasn't hungry, I wasn't starving, and I was seeing this progress and this growth. And eventually, I just started losing more and more and more weight. But that's not the important part, because the weight loss is cool and it's awesome. But the most important part is how I felt. I felt amazing. I was in a better mood. I was more energetic. I was sleeping better. Every aspect of my life, physically, mentally, and emotionally, was better because of the way I was eating, because of the way that I was working out. Eventually, I would go on to lose, over the course of 18 months, a little over 100 pounds, which is a lot. It's a lot. It felt very surreal to cross that boundary. I realized, oh, this is for real now. I'm 100 pounds lighter. And you don't really know what that means. You really don't. Because when it's coming off slowly, incrementally, and you just feel a little bit better and a little bit better. But after you lose all of it, a really great way to conceptualize just how much weight you lost is to actually pick up that much weight. So I went out and I got 100 pounds of weight, and I just added it on, and it felt awful. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe how much weight 100 pounds actually is when you're holding it and when it's on you. It's ridiculous. It certainly inspired me to make sure that it stays off. Because not only do I enjoy the fact that I lost weight and that I look better, but more importantly than that, I love that I feel better. Well, thank you all for listening. I know that this was a very different video than what I make, but I appreciate that you were listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I don't know, maybe like, subscribe, comment below, and let me know. Thank you.